Soup's final UK tour, how much are you going to miss the UK?
You know, it's going to be. A lot. We're going to miss the UK. It's going to be weird not coming here. At least a couple of times a year. So because we started coming over in 2000, and I think the count is this is my 33rd trip to this country in 13 years. And so, like, not having that constant, not having the idea in the back of my head that I'm about to go back over, constantly is going to be weird.
Will you still make the odd festival appearance?
And we'll make the not odd festival appearances as well.
Yeah. That's good news.
Yeah, as we've been saying this entire time, this is the farewell tour. This is not the goodbye tour. We'll be back, and we'll be doing festivals and like one-offs around that stuff as well. So we're not gone, and this does not signal the end of the band by any means.
That's good news. What's your favourite part of the UK, and is there anywhere you haven't seen yet?
To be honest with you, I haven't seen any of it.
No.
We don't get to see anything. That's the horrible part, because the way that we do it is we fly in, and our flight normally gets in around 8 o'clock in the morning. Bus picks you up. You get on the bus, take a nap, show up to the first venue, get in, get everything situated, then you do sound check, and then by the time you do sound check, it's time to do the VIP meet and greet, and then after that, you're back in the dressing room waiting to go on stage, and then you play, and then go back to the bus and go to sleep, and then it all repeats.
So it's not as glamorous
the next
as
day. There's nothing glamorous about what we do at all.
With that in mind, are you likely to come back on holiday over here?
I'm actually planning one for next year. So I'm bringing my lovely lady friend over to actually be a tourist and do all the touristy things that.
Any particular area?
We're spending some time in London, and then we've got friends up near Nottingham that we'll be staying with for a little while.
Yeah.
So
sounds good. Obviously, you miss friends and family when you're on tour, but what else do you miss?
The food, I have a couple of places that I go several times a week and have certain particular things, and it's like I just want those things when I'm on tour, and whether it's anytime I'm gone from home, like on tour over here or on tour in the States or whatever. It's like those couple of places are just like I just need that. That's my comfort zone, I guess.
I suppose no matter where you go, they don't get it just right, do they?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not exactly like the place that I like it from, so.
Is there anything unusual in the band's rider?
There really isn't. I mean, it's basically, bread and lunch meat, and little things to snack on, and then a shit ton of alcohol, and that's all it is. Like we keep it fairly simple. Several years ago, the rider had you had to provide us a Pantera poster or a naked picture of B. Arthur.
I've seen that appear on Facebook. Not Facebook, sorry, eBay. Someone's got a copy of the rider for sale on there. I was reading it earlier. Oh, Pantera.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that?
Just one of our favorite bands, and we've all listened to them for years, and you know they're Dallas guys as well. So yeah.
Do you get much fan mail, or is it all online nowadays?
It's all online. You know, at shows we do get handwritten letters, and they're just kind of passed off to us. But most of the correspondence that we get, 97% of the correspondence that we get is online.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me nowadays. With that in mind, what's the strangest thing you've ever received from a fan, and have you still got it?
And you know what? I wouldn't say strange, but coolest thing we've ever received. There was a family from the UK who mom, dad, brother and sister, and the kids were quite young. I mean, I can't imagine that the oldest one was more than 10 or 11. But they came to every show on a tour a few years ago, and then like the last show, they brought us dolls, like stuffed dolls, like homemade representations of ourselves, and everybody had like their guitar around them, and the guitars were matched absolutely perfectly, you know, and it was really awesome. I've got mine sitting in my office at home still to this day. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, sounds good. What's the most embarrassing moment for you and the band so far?
We were playing in London, and it was the first time that we had ever sold out the Astoria when it was still around. And you know, people like to throw things on stage and whatever. Somebody threw up a bracelet that was like a beaded bracelet around a string or whatever, and I stepped back to get in full on rock pose or whatever, and I threw my leg back and I stepped directly on top of the bracelet, and the beads rolled and my foot came out from underneath me, and I fell down full forward on my base and broke the neck in half, and so that was slightly embarrassing.
Yeah, but what's been the highlight so far?
You know, that's tough to say because there are highlights every night, but I will say seeing, after having done the show, seeing the photographs of us playing the main stage at Download the first time that we played there was just mind-blowing. You know, I've got it, and the cover picture on my Facebook page to this day is a picture that was taken from behind me, and it's me with 80,000 people in front of me, and like, you know, when I saw that picture, it was like, holy shit, we just did something really, really big that I didn't understand how big it was at the time that we were doing it.
Because I've seen some amazing photos like with all the crowds, massive.
Yeah. And we're getting those every night on this tour as well. I just got an email today from a friend that I haven't talked to in probably 15 years, and it was like, please keep putting these photos up because we really enjoy seeing exactly what you guys are doing, and it looks like it's massive, and yeah, it's pretty massive.
So that'll take a bit of beating, 80,000 people.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. I noticed you're using pledge music for your selling your music now. Do you enjoy the more personal way of selling music on there, and is it working for you?
You know, it was very much kind of an experiment for us because we own our own record label now, and it was a way to try to incorporate fans, into the process and give them a more visceral experience into what we were doing, and it went down fantastically. Like at least from our side of it, I can't speak for them, but from our side of it, it was so great to be able to give people, an in-depth look into every day in the recording studio, and almost probably 75% of the time that we were in the studio recording, we had fans in and watching and seeing the process go down, and so that was really cool.
Quite impressed. I've got a few bands I follow and they've done the same thing, and you just get those personal little bits on there that you can't normally get, you don't see.
Yeah, exactly,
exactly. Service, I think. Songwriting. Do you work on the lyrics and then the music, or the music and the lyrics?
Well,
me
personally, and I can't speak for Jarrett in his songwriting, but me personally, I go out in my backyard and smoke a cigarette and walk in circles and just start singing, and then when I find something that sticks with me, it's like, okay, all right, I've got this. Now, what is this about? And then it's go sit down for the next 10 minutes and figure out what this song is about that I'm writing here and write it.
Do you then work with the rest of the band and say, I've got this idea, or?
No. When I write, I write alone. Most of the time. I mean, I do co-writes with other people, but for the most part, it's just me sitting at my house.
So have you ever written anything and took it to the band and said, "Oh, that's rubbish. We don't like that"?
Yeah. Plenty of times.
Yeah, that's not so good then. Who decides what goes on your albums?
We all do.
You don't run it by a sort of manager or anything first? Or?
That has happened in the past, but not recently.
Right. Phineas and Ferb.
Yes.
That's right. How did you end up doing that sort of work, and has it led to other work in that sort of area?
So the two creators of Phineas and Ferb, Dan Povenmire and Swampy Marsh, used to they met writing together on The Simpsons, and evidently in the writers' room back in that day, Bowling for Soup was played quite a lot. And so then they went off to do different things. Dan was one of the initial directors and animators on I'm having a brain fart. Family Guy. And Swampy created a show called Rocco's Modern Life. And then they came back together to create Phineas and Ferb, and they have a music guy for the show that wrote the song, but they were like, we want like a real band to perform this, and because we were a favorite of theirs from back in the days of them working at The Simpsons. They're like, let's just contact Bowl and Pursuit and see if they can do it. And they sent the song over, and 48 hours later, we sent it back to them, and then they were like, this is great, can you turn this song, this 30 seconds, into a 3.5 minute song that we could actually, put on Radio Disney to help hype the show before it comes out. And it's like, all right, cool. And then 2 days later after that, we sent that back. And so yeah, it's cool. Like they've done good things for us, and we feel like we've done good things for them as well. So
it's excellent. I have to leave it there, I'm afraid. The list long enough to keep going for an hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you.